So I already made this entire video, but my computer ate it. I don't know how else to describe it. I am back, and I don't know if I'm better than ever, but I do have a sweet tan. Yeah. So the last time you saw me was probably on Vlog TV. If you missed that, I am sorry for your loss because it was an awesome time. The part that was not such a good time about Vlog TV was the part where I got highly inebriated and then had to pack for a week's vacation. I was so nervous about drunkenly forgetting something that I way overpacked. I had enough clothes to last me for a month's vacation instead of a week. So the actual vacation part was awesome. I had an amazing time and I didn't want to come home. But I am glad to be home, and let me tell you why. Because it was hell getting home. I don't know if any of y'all follow me on Twitter, but if you do, there were some dramatics with my flying home. Let me break this down for you, as simply as I can. I was supposed to fly home Monday at 5 p.m. and get into Salt Lake at 11 p.m. after having an hour and a half layover in Houston. An hour before I was set to go to the airport, I got a call that my first leg of my flight was delayed long enough to render it impossible for me to make my second flight to Salt Lake. So I called customer service and they're like, you know, you're all set, we already rerouted you. So I'm like, okay, what's the new plan? And they're like, oh, well, you'll fly out of Houston tomorrow after you take your flight tonight at 9 in the morning. Neglecting the fact that, oh, I'm either gonna have to get a hotel room that I pay for myself or that I'm going to be sleeping overnight in the Houston airport. So I pretty much said, fuck that, and they rerouted me so I fly out of Boston at 5 a.m., have my layover around like 9, and then I get in Salt Lake City by noon the next day. Well, of course that didn't work out. Hi, Weenus. Of course that didn't work out either, because what ended up happening is I had to leave for the airport at 3 a.m. since I had an early flight, and I was so nervous I couldn't sleep, and 10 minutes before I was supposed to wake my ride up, I got a call, another delay. So what ended up happening is I flew out of Boston at like 8, got into Houston at 11:30, and then didn't have my flight back home until 9:30. So I was stuck in the airport for about 12 hours. I tried everything. I read an entire book, I called my friends, I went on the internet, I shopped, I ate. Finally I found the bar, and let me tell you, booze isn't always the answer, but it definitely was this day. Before I knew it, it was time for me to joyously fly home and pass out for the entire remainder of my flight. So that's my story. I probably could have walked home faster. Sorry I don't have anything super interesting to report. I think I'm going to try and go on Vlog TV after this, like around 6:30, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time where I am. So do your math. If you're on the East Coast, it's 2 hours behind. Middle, 1 hour behind. California, 1 ahead. If you're somewhere else in the world, I don't fucking know. Alright.